We received a call earlier today, thank you Star, thank you, indicating that look, we have received a notice to move. In most instances, they saw it when they came to open their businesses the next morning. If you go and take a picture of that notice, you don't even know who signed it, because I don't know of anybody in Barbados called director. Now we've subsequently learned by them going to the newspaper, the people then came out on Monday this week, and that the person is the Director of Transport of the Transport Authority, Mr. Alex Linton. Now, to begin with, how we put a face on how we deal with people in this country is absolutely important. Nobody denies that work must be done on this bandstand. In fact, we support it 150%. Because as you look around, the conditions are not fit for anybody. Having said that, you have people who have been here 19, 20, 22 years. You cannot now suddenly come and put a piece of paper in the middle of the night, like a thief in the night, and post it there for people to read when they come out tomorrow morning, the next morning, to panic and wonder what is happening. No human interaction. The first time the Director of Transport meets with them is after they go to the media. And then they're carried further down and say, well, you could go here or there, only to find out that some of the spots that have been identified are in fact spots habitually used by other people later in the week. Because anybody who knows anything about vending knows that people traditionally vend when? Mainly closer to the weekend, not the beginning of the week. So you're setting up for an altercation, and then on top of that, what is most offensive of all, you're doing it on the eve of these people's greatest possibility to earn a living. Independence coming up. People want a little haircut, want to look a certain way. Christmas coming up. So all the summer dead, all other times of the year dead, and when the people have the greatest opportunity to make a piece of change, you now want to move them. But worse than that, you want to move them and don't offer them the relocation expenses. MTW has workers who can come and help this ministry. It's the same ministry. They have workers who can come and outline the places, get the consent of the persons who have the stalls, and relocate it for the people. This gentleman depends on electricity. This lady depends on the sale of food. And therefore the conditions is not just about picking up a chattel and moving it. And when are we going to stop treating Bajans like second-class citizens in this country? There cannot be two Barbadoses. And I want to ask the others who are here, because it's not just my view. Santia has to deal with this in the Klein, Marsha dealing with this in Carina Village, Trevor dealing with this in the Ivy. These are people trying to do something legal to help the families. I can bet you that if it was a large company elsewhere, that they would understand that you can't shut them down. In fact, I'll bet you, let me go back, sorry. When we had to do work with the tourism sector on the West Coast in relation to the river, down by Discovery Bay and down that side, we worked with the hotels as a government, and this government has done it too. Work with the hotels to do it during the off-season so that they are least minimally affected at the time when they're, alright sir, alright, at the time when they're minimally, at the time when they need to earn the most. You understand? So my simple point is, one, treat them with dignity. You should have brought the letter, and you should have called them to a meeting first, in fact, even before giving them a letter. Two, the letter would have been the second step. Three, you should have assured them at that meeting that places have been identified for their relocation. Four, that in addition to identifying the places for their relocation, that it would be done in a seamless way so that their income is not affected at this time of the year when it's their greatest earning potential. And finally, that the government, the ministry, will be absorbing responsibility for the relocation. If you don't have cash, fine. Ministry has laborers, ministry has electricians, ministry has masons. So the ministry just needs to deploy its workforce on its own property in circumstances where they're clear to that they're not sending them to a spot where somebody else is going to use on the weekend for a fight to break out and for the police to come. So as we rub shoulders to here, I am appealing to this government to do the right thing and to have the Ministry of Public Works relocate these vendors in a proper manner that is consistent with their ability to earn at this time of the year. You cannot take people who have been living here, working here 19 years, 20 years, 22 years, give them 10 days notice and then tell them the cost at you to move. It is unacceptable and it is wrong, and it sends a signal of two Barbados.